The Scandinavian revival film movement, 1940s to 1950s, was known for its dark, monochrome, slow, and a little bit mystical atmosphere. Perhaps the most famous film from this movement is Bergman's The Seventh Seal in 1957. Following the set criteria for the movement, The Seventh Seal is about a man that meets death during the Black Plague. Ingmar Bergman is also the main figure in this movement. Some of the key filmmakers involved is Carl Theodor Dreyer, and he was a Danish writer, director, editor. His films are mostly described as dreamlike, atmospheric, and seminal horror. Dreyer is considered part of the movement because of the emotional austerity and slow, stately pacing of his films, which was a key element of the Scandinavian film movement. Another director in the Scandinavian film movement is Henning Carlsen. Danish by birth, he initially started writing for the screen and then started with some short documentaries in 1947. Even though the zenith of his career, Hunger, came out in 1966, his first feature film, and Dilemma was only released in 1962. It was secretly shot on location in South Africa. I think the seminal film of the movement is Wild Strawberries, and even though it's a lot lighter than some of the other films I mentioned, I still think it's one of the key and best examples of the movement. With the strange dreams Professor Borg had, the eerie feel throughout the film, and the disillusioned protagonist and characters, Wild Strawberries is a perfect example of the Scandinavian film movement. Some similar films is Salt, Hunger, from 1966. Shot in black and white, Salt is an underrated black and white Danish art house film. Set in Norway in the 19th century, the film tells a story of Pontus, a talented writer who is unable to find a job. Throughout the film, the main character is plagued by vivid hallucinations and daydreams, which the audience experiences with him, of course. The film reminds me of Bergman's art house horror, Hour of the Wolf, 1968, which is also a nightmarish depiction of a deranged, unstable mind. And another film that is similar to those I mentioned is Dilemma from 1962. Dilemma falls just out of the Scandinavian film movement, but due to its theme and its slow pace, it can still be seen as one of the films from the movement. Dilemma tells of a black man coming to Johannesburg, South Africa to run a publishing company. He is met with strange happenings and coincidences that fits in perfectly with the weird kind of eerie feel of the movement. Seminal can be defined as strongly influencing later developments. With its distinct style and recognizable notable figures, I'd say the Scandinavian revival film movement is one of the biggest inspirations for modern-day psychedelic or hallucinatory films. Probably the most famous person inspired by Bergman is writer and director Woody Allen. In each of his films there's a tiny nod to Bergman, whether it's the framing techniques of interior and cries and whispers, or love and death mimicking personas overlapping faces shot, or even the work ethic, with both filmmakers making one film a year as professional filmmakers. Ideas are drawn from others all the time, sometimes a film movement more than 70 years from the past. To me, that's a little nod at our filmmaking predecessors, a little thank you note to the old greats.